Episode of The Breakdown. I'm Mike.
And I'm Austin. Daniel Jones? Are you serious right now? They drafted Daniel Jones with the 6th pick? I mean, he's not a good coach?
Yeah, and he bought a bunch of new players. Now they're good this year. Damian Lillard is a top 5 player in the NBA right now. Hands down.
Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time.
Episode of The Breakdown. I'm Mike.
And I'm Austin. We have an action-packed show prepared for you today. We're talking some NBA basketball, a little MLB playoffs. We're excited, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, I'm so ready for the MLB playoffs. So excited. So excited. Anyways, moving on to
NBA
the NBA playoffs. So to start it off, we're going to go with Houston versus Golden State. Man, has Houston made it a series?
Yeah, man.
I'm excited, man. It's been action-packed. I mean, I still feel the Warriors are going to find a way, but I got to give Houston props, man. Down 2-0, finding a way to come back to even the series, winning both games in Houston. Huge for them. Super huge, and the supporting cast for James Harden has really stepped up.
Yeah, man. Early on, man, down 2-0. I thought this series was over. I thought Golden State was going to go back. I thought Houston was going to win one game, maybe in Houston. I thought Golden State would leave going back to Oracle up 3-1 and then put it away in Game 5. But, man, was I mistaken. This Houston Rockets team has found a fight in them. To me, they're not as good as the team as last year, but they're doing it the same type of fashion. They're playing a lot of one-on-one basketball, which doesn't really seem to work for other teams. It doesn't seem like it would be a smart strategy, but it's working for them. They have taken Golden State out of their game, and they're making Golden State play to Houston's tempo, and I think that's the biggest part of it right now.
Nobody's been able to do that for really this entire time that the Warriors have been the Warriors. The Warriors have pretty much controlled how they the pace of the game. Like, we're going to play how we want to play, and you better just adapt to it. And, I mean, just look at the numbers. Most teams haven't been able to adapt.
And it's odd because, Mike D'Antoni, the coach of the Houston Rockets, he has a reputation for wanting to be, up-tempo style. He wants to play more of the Golden State, 7 seconds or left with Phoenix Suns. He wants to shoot a lot of threes. He wants to be the one pushing the pace and controlling the tempo. But what they have done in this series, in my opinion, from watching, is they've really tried to slow it down in the final quarters. And it seems like they go, first 2 quarters, they're playing their style of basketball, kind of running a little bit, and they're wearing Golden State down. Come third and fourth quarter, they slow it down, they run the clock, and they try to get the best shot. And James Harden has pretty much taken over in the third and fourth quarter, and they have run the offense complete through him through one-on-one. And it has been awesome to see, such star player, such dominance from a player, and it's just amazing. I can't wait for Game 5 to see how Golden State responds after being pushed against the ropes.
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing is James Harden is going to be James Harden.
Yes.
No matter what, he's going to put up good numbers. The reason that Houston was able to even up the series is the supporting cast, especially Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon has been huge the last 2 games. And then you got adding guys like PJ Tucker's been the hustle guy. He's going to give you everything he's got. Chris Paul's been doing him. Clint Capella, the numbers aren't fantastic, but if you watch it defensively, they can almost never drive when he's in the game.
Well, like you said, it was an excellent point. Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, they've been the X factor this year. If it wasn't for Eric Gordon, I don't think the Houston Rockets would be even where they are today right now in the playoffs.
I agree.
I mean, Eric Gordon has been a complete X factor. He has been a instant grits, like we like to call it down here in New Orleans. He's been instant grits for them. Look, not just.
Only would have been like that in New Orleans.
Why you got to bring that up, man?
I just had to bring it up.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I cannot stand Eric Gordon, but I gotta give props where props is due. And this dude has been playing well during this series, and he's been the reason why they're up to. I mean, not up. The series is tied 2-2. But like you were saying with PJ Tucker, every team has a grit guy. And PJ Tucker is the one. He's the guy that he is frustrating Golden State right now. He's the one guarding Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant is putting up great numbers, yes, but Kevin Durant doesn't look comfortable on the floor. In my opinion, I think PJ Tucker is getting in his body, and he's not letting Kevin Durant, expose his will on the offensive end of the floor. And then if he knocks an occasional 3-point shot every now and then, that just helps Houston tremendously. And that's been the key in the series so far.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I agree 100%. I mean, PJ Tucker, yes, Kevin Durant's put up great numbers, and I feel Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet, in my opinion, without a doubt. But, I mean, PJ Tucker, you can just see, I agree, like KD, what? I don't. You seem like you didn't agree with that comment.
I don't agree with that.
Oh, my goodness. Why?
There's a guy in Milwaukee right now playing basketball in the same league just throwing it out there. I don't want to get into a big debate with you here, but there's another player out there. He's known as the Freak, I think.
He's really good at basketball too. He's a top 5 player in the league, in my opinion, without a doubt. Probably top 3.
Is it the Greek Freak? That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. The Greek Freak, Milwaukee Bucks. That's the best player in the NBA right now. But continue.
Anyways, I still feel the Warriors are going to find a way, just because with KD, Steph, Klay Thompson, if he gets hot in games, there's just too many shooters around the floor.
So you're good. You're going Golden State?
I'm going Golden State in 7. I feel Houston wins Game 6.
It's at the beginning of this, we've discussed it on the show before. We've talked about it briefly in previous weeks, but I'm going with Golden State. I've said Golden State, Milwaukee the whole time. But man, I'm telling you what, I don't want to make a prediction right now. I think, look, I haven't seen
Golden State. Make a prediction.
Look, let me explain it to you. I haven't seen Golden State like this in a very long time. Maybe not ever since they've had this team. They just look like they're beaten on the floor. They cannot guard. It's not like Houston's not beating them with tricks. They're not going out there. They're not beating them with scheme. They're not moving the ball. They're not beating them with all kind of different, flashy gadgets and stuff. They're beating their butts one-on-one. In the third and fourth quarter last night, James Harden was going one-on-one the whole time. Chris Paul going one-on-one. And they still can't guard him. 5 players on Golden State has all their attention placed on James Harden. And James Harden drives right down the paint every time. Right down the paint. And then the defense collapse. You got Eric Gordon, 3-point shooter. You got PJ Tucker, 3-point shooter. Chris Paul can knock down a 3-point shot. Austin Rivers, when they go small ball, he's been knocking down the 3 in this series. Dude, it's just... I want to see how Golden State responds in Game 5. Because if Houston goes up there and they play this, and it's the same type of game that's been being played,
Game 5
Houston is going to steal Game 5.
Game 5 is super. I feel, honestly, whoever wins Game 5 is going to win the series.
I can agree with that.
If Houston wins Game 5, I think they're going to win at home. If the Warriors win Game 5, they might lose Game 6, but Game 7 is going to be at home. They're not losing Game 7 at home.
And, dude, it really pains me to watch the games. The games are entertaining. Look, this has been the most entertaining series in the playoffs so far, in my opinion, because it's been so close and every possession matters. There's no possessions off. If you take a possession off in this series, you're going to get blown out. Every possession matters, and that's how each team is treating it. And that's how Houston has stayed in the game. They're outmatched. They're not as talented as Golden State, but they treat every possession like it's their last. PJ Tucker, he has been on the offensive boards ridiculously. And if Golden State cannot match that type of energy and match that type of grit, Houston's going to steal Game 5. Yeah. And when they do, I'm gonna say, we don't talk about James Harden enough as far as we don't talk about him being in the conversation for like legacy and being an all-time great player. If he leads the Houston Rockets and knocks off the Golden State Warriors, James Harden will be a top 10 player all time. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if they beat Golden State, he will be considered a top 10 player. You know how monumental that is?
Yeah, it's huge.
It'll be like Captain America killing Thanos.
What?
That's what it would be like, dude. Like, they're a juggernaut. Nobody thinks that they can be beat. If James Harden leads the Rockets to beat them, not even James Harden, whoever knocks them off is going to be seen as a legendary player. And I think James Harden fits the bill. He's been unstoppable in the series.
Great. It's going to be huge, but to immediately put him in the top 10. Now, when his career is all
No, that's what I mean. After he knocks them off, they're going to go to the Western Conference Finals.
Oh,
and they're probably going to go to the finals.
I thought you
after that.
If he wins, if they beat him in this exact moment, he's a top 10.
No, that's disrespectful. I'm not going that far.
That's why I was freaking out.
What I mean, let me correct. What I mean is that if they knock off Golden State when his career is all said and done, and he stays the same path, he will be considered a top 10 player of all time.
Okay. I can somewhat agree with that. If he stays on the same path, puts up the same numbers, gets a couple MVPs, and can say he got over the Warriors song. Okay.
And he might end it. He might end the dynasty. Think about it. If they lose this series, you think KD comes back?
I don't think he's coming back anyways, regardless.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't. I just feel he's going to leave, but definitely, no, if they lose, I think he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to go try something else.
Yeah.
And then, Clay's coming back. I know he might not. Who knows? I've seen bigger surprises before. Clay's a free agent, so, maybe Clay's like, you know what, maybe I want to try something. I'm going to go and be the guy somewhere.
I'm very interested.
Kyrie did it. Maybe he's got that urge.
I am very interested in Game 5 tomorrow night. It's going to tell me a lot about where this series is going to go. Golden State needs to respond. Their backs are against the ropes. Houston doesn't have any pressure. Houston can play their type of basketball. They can play free. They can play without pressure, and it's going to be interesting to see Game 5 in Oracle. Another factor that you talked about, I mentioned a second ago, you talk about Clint Capella being a factor on the boards and his stats may not look that good. They don't have him play Clint Capella a ton of minutes. They're using him sparingly, and it's worked because he is the shot blocking player he's protecting the rim and not allowing these guys to go in the paint. Steph Curry, I think that's the reason why he has struggled in this series is because, he's the greatest three-point shooter arguably of all time. And without a shadow of a doubt, he's the best three-point shooter in the league right now. But if he's not knocking down a three-point shot, if you're contesting it, what helps players with shooting is if they can get a couple layups to see the ball go through the net. And they're not allowing him to do that. Clint Capella's like, please, come in the paint. I'll swat it.
Yep.
And I think that's been a factor in this series so far, and it'll be interesting to see how they make adjustments on that.
Absolutely. I'm very looking forward to see how it's going forward. But moving on to the other Western Conference series, you got the Trailblazers versus the Nuggets, both tied up at 2. And, I'll tell you this. Damian Lillard's really good at basketball, but the Nuggets are not backing down. What have you seen so far out of the series?
Well, look, man, second to the Warriors and Rockets, this has been the most entertaining series so far.
Absolutely.
For me. It's been close, and they have star power. Both teams are very similar, in my opinion. They play the similar style of basketball. They both have good backcourts. I think the front court is what edges the Nuggets out. But right now, I don't think the Nuggets are ready to take that step. This is their first time in the playoffs for a lot of their young players. And look, they're a great team. Don't get me wrong, but I think I've had Portland winning the series early. We talked about it a couple weeks ago when they
said in round 1 that I felt that they were going to go to the Western Conference before the series even started.
Yes, and so I think I'm gonna stick with that. I think Portland's going to win the series, but let me tell you, Game 5 is super important. I think Portland has to win Game 5. And bring it back to Portland to try to take the series.
Yeah, I like Portland to win the series, but like you said, they gotta win game. You do not want to get it to a point where it's Game 7 in Denver. That's gonna be a hostile environment. You want to try and avoid that.
Yeah.
All possibilities. So, but
I like them playing in altitude. See, that could be a huge factor. Game 7, you're kind of tired from the long series. You go back to Denver, you're playing in altitude. Could be a factor. I don't know how big of a factor it could be, but it could be something.
Yeah. For me, I still like Portland to win. I think Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and then every game they have the guys sportcast, whether it's Rodney Hood, Cantor. Curry the other night had a solid game off the bench. So
gotta give Cantor props for that toughness, man, with that separated shoulder.
Yes, man. He shouldn't be playing, but he's gutting it out. Rip City, baby. He's believing.
He's been the X factor for them. We talk about PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon.
He's been their PJ Tucker,
he's been
without a doubt. No, hands down. It's gonna be Portland versus Golden State.
Yeah, I definitely think Portland. I'm gonna stick with Portland, like I said. And, I'm gonna stick with Golden State too, but I think Houston they have a real chance here to if they steal Game 5. I think Houston can win the series.
Yeah, for me, Golden State for me is definitely making the finals out of the 2, and I think they're going to win the series. So moving over to the East, you have Toronto versus 76ers, and currently right now, Toronto is
they won.
They actually won. They won. They oh my goodness, they won by 30. So that puts the Raptors up 3-2 right now, and dude, man, the 76ers. I don't know what's up with them because you look at their team, it should be like. All right, the 76ers to the finals against who?
That's how
talent-wise, that's how it should be.
You got Ben Simmons, you got Jimmy Butler, you got Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, arguably top 5 center in the league, maybe number 1. JJ Redick, 3-point shooter. This team is underachieving, and I'm trying to find a way to maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's hard. I can't use the youth thing because they've been there, done that. Jimmy Butler's been there, done that. JJ Redick has been there, done that. Tobias Harris has playoff experience. So I just think it's just the fact that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have to be more assertive, in the rest of the series consistently and be dominant. They should be dominating. Those two are the best players on the floor. They should be dominating this series, talent-wise. Kawhi Leonard's the best player on the floor, but from a talent standpoint, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are the best player on the floor, and they need to show it.
Yeah, without Joel Embiid, I don't know what he saw, but Joel Embiid made a top 5 all-time players. All time, not current, all time, and he put himself 5th all time. What? 5th all time? Dude, man, you haven't done anything to be considered a top 5 player of all time. And then, alright, these two don't deserve to be comparable. When you do this to yourself, I'm going to make this comparison. Michael Jordan had the flu in the playoffs, and we all know how that game turned out. Joel Embiid was sick. Was it game 2? I know. I know, but when you put yourself in the top 5 person, you deserve. I'm gonna compare you to that. Like, so what makes you think you're a top 5 player? You can't play with that.
I mean, that's a good point. Look, Joel Embiid has to be more dominant. Game 2 and 3. Well, no, it was game 3.
Game 3 when he was sick.
Game 3 he was sick, but yeah, look, too inconsistent. If you think you're the best player on the planet, go freaking show it. Go out there and play, man. Same thing with Ben Simmons. I don't want to hear this excuse, oh, he can't shoot. You're the biggest player on the floor. Drive in the paint and dunk on somebody. This is ridiculous that we have to sit here and talk about the lack of talent, lack of talented players asserting themselves. You're in the NBA. That's your job. Go and do it. There's no reason why 76ers should have lost by, let's see, 36 points. 36 points. They scored 89 points in the whole game. That is unacceptable. Yeah, there's too many offensive weapons on this team.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you 100% for digging. Now, I'm going to give props to the Raptors. Raptors, Kawhi has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm not going to go as far as what Max Kellerman said yet, but Kawhi is having a great series, without a doubt. I mean, then you have Marcus Gasol's been playing solid. Kyle Lowry, Pascal's been solid. Like, they have guys around that have been playing solid, and that's why, I mean, obviously you need the guy. They have the guy, Kawhi. You just need the role players to play well around him. That's what's happening right now. And 76ers, they're dropping the ball right now. With hands down, without a doubt, dropping the ball.
And, we're talking about Golden State, how they might look differently if they lose to Houston in this series. 76ers are another one on the boat. They don't have no bench. They have no backup plan. They traded all their young pieces, all their bench players for this starting 5.
Yes.
Jimmy Butler's a free agent. Tobias Harris is a free agent. You think if they lose to Toronto, they're going to come back and say, hey, let's run it again? Hell no.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think. Why would they do that?
They didn't make the East Conference Finals.
Exactly, and they're clearly not better than Toronto.
What? Yeah, I mean it's obvious. It's so
Toronto.
obvious.
This series is over in my opinion.
I think it's over.
I think Toronto wins the next game. I think they go to Philly and win, and it's over with.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
So
moving on
to the next series, which is
this series we got to talk about.
Out of all 4 of the series, this is the one that's kind of been lopsided for the most part.
Yeah.
It's the Bucks and Celtics with Milwaukee being up 3-1 right now. And,
absolutely.
I mean, the Celtics just, they just look like they're not having fun. Like, they're just not playing well together right now. But Kyrie's hasn't looked good over the last couple of games. I mean, it really has not looked good whatsoever.
I am placing this blame officially. The reason why they're down 3-1 is on Kyrie Irving's back. You're sitting here and telling me you're one of the best players in the league. You go 7 for 22. Then you went 8 for 22 the previous game, in game 3. And then you sit there on the podium and say, I don't think that's going to happen again. You're right. Technically, you're right because you went 7 for 22 the next game. That is unacceptable from a star player. Let me explain something to you, dude. All this talk the whole season, and you brought this up in a previous show, and I want to give you props on it. We talked about it extensively. They were having issues early in the season. They have not gotten over that. This team looks like they're just there. It's like a pickup game. They all just showed up. We're going to play basketball together. The Milwaukee Bucks, they're well coached. They have a lot of talent. They play smart basketball. You're not going to beat this team if you just show up.
Yeah.
And how the Celtics are playing how Kyrie Irving is playing right now is unacceptable. He's trying to force it too much. And then today he comes out and says, they asked him about his 7 for 22 game, and he says, I should have shot more shots. I should have shot 30 shots. Dude, you're not Kobe Bryant. You're Kyrie Irving. Stop trying to be somebody else. Go be Kyrie Irving. Go be the player from Cleveland. You have championship experience. Go be that guy. Stop being the victim here and be the freaking leader that this young team needs. Jaylen Brown is having himself an excellent series. And I don't know why they don't play him enough. Play him more. He has been the most efficient scorer on their team. I know last night he was in foul trouble, but this guy should not be playing 28 minutes a game. He should be playing 35, 36 minutes. I know Jason Tatum is struggling, and that is fine. Every player has a certain time in this playoffs where they struggle. This team needs to be directed by Kyrie Irving. He needs to gather these young players around and play the type of basketball that they're capable of playing. It is unacceptable.
So, based on all that, I'm saying you think the Bucks are going to win.
Yeah, the Bucks are good. The series is over, man. 3-1. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the best player in the world on their team. And I got to give them credit. They're the best team in the playoffs right now. I think they're going to the finals.
I think the Bucks are in the finals too, and I think it's going to be Bucks-Warriors. And I'm going to have the winner being the best player on the planet with KD and the Warriors winning.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
We'll see. We are absolutely going to see. So, moving on to a different direction real quick, I want to cover Major League Baseball. What is the biggest surprise so far for you that's happened in Major League Baseball?
Dude, there's been a lot of them, man.
That's been a lot
this
of
baseball season, you look at the top 10 in ERA for pitching. There's no big names up there.
No,
it's unbelievable.
No.
This year is the year of we're becoming a new star. We're welcoming a new brand of baseball, a younger talent, younger generation, and I love it. But the surprise is that, of course, that I just mentioned. But another surprise, gotta talk about Tampa Bay Rays, man. They're playing tremendous right now. Nobody gave them any credit. You got Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, the two powerhouses in that division.
New York's been playing well with the Red Sox, really.
Yeah, I'm not saying they haven't played well. I'm just saying they get overshadowed though by those teams, and Tampa Bay doesn't have enough that star power. But they're playing good baseball right now. I gotta give them props.
You know, last year they were good. Like if they were in the National League, they would have made the playoffs last year.
And nobody talked about it.
Nobody talked about it, and I feel Kevin Cash has just done a phenomenal job managing that team. Like Blake Snell, Charlie Moore, Tyler Glasnow.
Yes.
I mean, their pitching rotation is just insane this year. Insanely good. You know, Blake Snell being the Cy Young winner last year. You got a young piece with Glasnow coming in from the Chris Archer trade. Oh my! And Tyler Glasnow was actually first in ERA, and then not Blake Snell, not the Cy Young winner. No, another guy is first in ERA so far for the year. And then the lineup with Tommy Pham, who I just think is phenomenal for them so far this year. And then their bullpen has been, oh my gosh, man, they have one of the best bullpens in baseball.
Usually, having a good bullpen translates to wins, and I think that's where you see why they're so good is because of their bullpen. They're able to get out of jams. They're able to win games late. That's how you close out games. That's how you make the playoffs. That's how you build a good resume.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why they're good. And that's the reason why I think people don't give them a lot of credit because they don't have a lot of star players and their bullpen is kind of quiet. They just kind of
there's no big names in there. There's guys that make names for themselves.
Exactly. So. They're playing great baseball. I'm looking forward to seeing them continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah, without a doubt. And another thing I wanted to add is Cody Bellinger.
Oh yeah,
he's really good at baseball.
Gotta talk about him.
Like we're in May. And he's batting over 400.
He's having. What? If he continues on the pace that he's on, he will have the best all-time season by a player ever.
If he stays on pace, because
if he stays on pace,
the batting
stays on pace.
You know, the average. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen it, but I mean, it has happened where somebody's batting.
Yeah, when you combine that with the home runs and the RBIs,
that's what would make it historic. When you add all those pieces together, that's what would make it super historic.
And I didn't see it coming because he was not good last year.
No, I mean he had a good rookie year, but
good rookie year. But
last year was kind of he took a major, definitely sophomore slump last year.
I think it's safe to say he'll be drug tested frequently coming up in this year. I'm not saying he's on anything. I'm just saying as a precaution, you're going to see him get drug tested.
NFL, man. That was famous. That's this is how I know. I remember it's something small. I mean, only I know it's because I'm a Falcons fan. When Matt Bosher laid that huge hit out on one of the games, he got drug tested.
Yes, I really got to tell you, they're known for that. I think baseball needs to do that. See what Cody Bellinger's going on.
It's a 2-minute warning.
Our 2-minute warning bell. So moving on to our fan question for the week. We got our fan question comes from Thanos. Just kidding. It comes from Eric. Thanos is dead. Anyways, moving on to the fan question from Eric. It's, how do y'all feel about the David Griffin hire? For anybody that knows who David Griffin is, the Pelicans hired him as the vice president of basketball operations. So, Austin, you being the Pelicans fan, I can't believe you can wear that. Anyways.
When we get more views, I'll get another jersey. But anyways, look. I love this hire. Outstanding hire by the Pelicans. Gail Benson is doing great things with this franchise. I think she is tired of the disrespect around the league saying we're a second-class organization. That is far from the truth. We are going to be competing for championships within 5 years. Bold prediction. I really believe that this guy is tremendous. He's had success everywhere he's been. He has great relationships with a lot of teams around the league, other GMs, other agents. He's going to be able to attract free agents here, and he is revamping the whole entire front office, and I cannot be more happy with the situation that's going on. Another thing that I want to say, this is tremendous, and I cannot stress enough how big a deal this is. The Pelicans, for as long as I can remember, have had an injury problem that is second to none in the NBA. Every single year, key players after key player after key player is out with injuries. They went out and got the best. They went out and got the best trainer in the NBA from the Phoenix Suns. And, dude, that is a tremendous, tremendous hire for them. They went out and got the Kevin Durant of NBA trainers.
Y'all did have, over the years, a lot of injuries. So definitely, good trainers,
dude.
Definitely want to. But I feel it's definitely a good hire for y'all. It's a bold hire. It's a big name. And I feel it's what y'all needed because, somebody's got to steer y'all in the right direction.
Yes.
And for me, I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way. I feel it starts with trading AD, to getting a lot of pieces for him.
Definitely start to trade AD. And I like what he said during his press conference. He said AD is either all in or all out. And that's how it needs to be, and he tells it like it is. So that's all, folks.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.